Hey everybody! On this episode, we've got a sit-down interview with the one and only Jenny Sorey with Hub of Hope. We hope you'll join us. Stay tuned. Hey everybody! Welcome to Chat Sessions with Steph and Seth. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have a really exciting show for everybody. We're actually getting really serious in this one. I don't know if you're as familiar as I am or not, but there's a foundation out there called December Foundation, and it's where women wear dresses every day for the month of December to raise awareness for slavery issues, inequality, all these different things that basically are
Which
driven.
is so prominent right
So
now.
prominent, and it's driven out of vulnerability. And so we were able to sit down with Jenny Sorey from Hub of Hope the other night when we were at the Jewels of Giving Gala,
Yes.
because
It was just a great time
it was
to
a
talk
great
to
time
her.
to talk to her. We had
And
a
she
few
was
minutes.
very open with us.
That's right. So without further ado, please join us as we welcome Jenny Sorey. Jenny, welcome to Chat Sessions. We're glad that you're here. So you participate every year with a fundraiser called December, and it's December 1st to December 31st, the entire month. So tell us a little bit about what that is and why you do it.
Yeah. So December actually was started by a young woman who writes a blog, and she recognized the need to raise awareness and raise funds to combat human trafficking. She had heard about it and then thought, what is it that I could do? And so she wanted to use her voice because she had a big voice through her blog. And so she came up with the idea of December. And so December actually, like you said, takes place the month of December, and people who advocate for them. So I am an advocate during that month with December. And so we actually promise to wear a dress every single day the month of December.
24 hours a day?
Well, there are times I probably don't, like when I'm sleeping, but I think about that. Maybe I'll nightgown it, I don't know. But yeah. So
every single day in all
activities, even when you find me on the treadmill, I will have a dress on. So
oh my gosh, that's
and
crazy.
what that does really is so people can give, and so it's advocating and fundraising, but it's also raising awareness because I don't wear dresses normally, and so they will say, you look nice today. That's not normally how you look. And so it gives me an opportunity, it's a platform, to be able to say, well, the reason I'm doing this, and I wear a pin that says December on it. So it's really to raise awareness, but also to raise funds to increase the capacity of the work that International Justice Mission does and A21 campaign.
So, got a couple questions. So let's start with what is IJM and what do they do and why is that important to you?
Yeah. So I actually met the staff of International Justice Mission. That's what IJM stands for. It's been about 7 years ago now, and I met them at a conference in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was the first time I went through a booth that they had. It was the first time that I actually heard the phrase modern day slavery. Like, to hear those words together in a phrase, it didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
But after going through the booth and the exhibit that they had there, I learned that there are more slaves on the planet today than at any other time in the history of the planet. So we estimate that there are 45 million people that are living in slavery. And so I just really
define slavery a little bit, because that's confusing to me sometimes.
Right. And so human trafficking, modern slavery, is defined as really, there's a big long definition, but it is simply this: it's people selling people, and that is the bottom line. And we have it divided up into two categories, really. And really there's a third that people are talking about now and more attention has been given to. But we talk about sex slavery. We talk about forced labor, so bonded labor situations. And then there's also organ trafficking. And so IJM works to really combat all of those areas. So they work from rescue of those individuals, bringing them into restoration, but then what has to happen, and they do so well, is they bring perpetrators to justice. And it's cyclical. And so if we don't have someone bringing those perpetrators and traffickers to justice, guess what happens? It still stays in a cycle. So I love the work they do because it's so whole. They really combat it in a holistic way.
So Jenny, in Northwest Arkansas, you really don't think about issues like that being a significant issue. You really think about those issues being overseas, China, India, the Ukraine, different areas. But it really is an issue here, which is why you are partnering with these organizations. So if you're just a random person in Northwest Arkansas, or anywhere in the United States for that matter, what are some of the signs? Like, how do you know what you're looking for?
Right. And some of the things that we say to watch for, first of all, is just the demeanor of a woman who is coming in with a male counterpart. Many times victims do not make eye contact. They will look down, and the trafficker that's with them, which really honestly in the sex community, we're talking about a pimp. And so he will actually speak for her. He will answer questions for her. So we really teach about what does that look like and how to watch for that. We also talk about branding. It's an age-old issue when we talk about slavery. It's always been that way, where slave owners would brand the things that they own.
Right.
And so
like cattle.
Yeah, exactly. And it still happens today. And so we work with Homeland Security, local law enforcement. So we'll actually get phone calls in where law enforcement will say, we're looking for this pimp's name tattooed on girls. And so we can then alert everyone in our coalition to watch for that. But you'll be surprised maybe at this, but actually branding with barcodes, money bags, dollar signs, all sorts of things. I was actually working at an outreach one time, and a woman came in. It was a Christmas giveaway, actually, giving gifts away. And she actually had the word that rhymes with witch tattooed right on her cheek. Yeah, and so, oftentimes that's exactly what we do. We go, what is that? And we really kind of lean away from that. And one of the things that we say at Hub of Hope is let's lean into those situations. Those things that maybe don't look or act or smell like us. Like, instead of going around the block, let's really dive into that block. And so that was one of those situations. And so those are just two. There's so many of them. And we go into a lot of those in our trainings. But there really are visible signs that you can watch for.
So if anybody out there is looking for more information on and wanting to learn more about this, even potentially get trained in understanding and being part of this, what do they need to do? Where do they go? Obviously they can call you.
Yeah, definitely.
So and we'll put your info at the bottom of this video. But really, if they just really want to understand a little bit more before they even know or even comfortable with what questions to ask, where should we direct them?
There's really some great information out there and people doing really incredible work. One of the first sites that I always say to go to is Polaris Project. And it's Polaris, like the Polaris star, Polaris. And again, I get you that information. But it's Polaris Project. They actually run the National Human Trafficking Hotline. And so any calls that come in the United States, they have information. So they have developed a typology of a modern slave. Like, where do these phone calls come in from? Where are traffickers? And then just information about learning about the issue. Good, education pieces. And then IJM's website, ijm.org, if you want to really see what that looks like on an international scale. They work mainly internationally, but incredible work that they do. A21 is another organization doing great work. Here in Arkansas, we have PATH, so pathsaves.org. They work specifically with women victims of sex trafficking. Our website, we have some information there as well. And we're actually going to be providing a 6 to 8 week course on human trafficking. And when you go through that, you actually will be qualified to work in victim assistance.
Oh, cool.
With us. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a website.
Yes.
That will be specific to your Dressember page.
Yes.
And we'll put that website, because I know you probably don't remember that right off the top of your head, but we'll put that website on there where they can donate to you if they're so moved. But more than anything, we want people to, one, be aware that there is an issue here in Northwest Arkansas.
Right.
And I think the pride in us wants to cover that up and pretend it doesn't exist because we're proud of where we live.
It's true.
But there is an issue, and until we take off those satin gloves and put on rubber gloves to get in there and work.
right. So good, yes.
We've got to, one, be aware, and then two, put our money where our heart is, and then three, potentially lessen it in our area. So
Yeah, and just in closing of that whole issue of December, I'm actually forming a team, so others are they're welcome to join my team, and so they actually set up their own campaign, but then join the Hub of Hope NWA team. And so I put as our goal as a team to raise $6,850.
Okay.
Because that is actually the cost of a rescue to restoration for one victim with international justice mission.
$6,850. That's a pretty large sum.
It is.
So we're going to
we
put
would
that
love to have
challenge
team
out.
members, and we'd love to see that. That would be incredible. To
Well,
reach
the
that
ask
goal.
is going to also be on this end, because Northwest Arkansas folks are just so generous. We're going to ask that we have someone that will match that for you.
That'd be awesome.
So we're going to task that to whoever
That's great.
is watching this. That $6,850 is rescue to restoration cost for one individual.
Yes.
So we're going to put that task out there and see who can raise that much money
great.
on their own, actually. So
That'd
we
be
get as many
great.
of those as possible. So
Fantastic.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And
Thank
lots
you.
of information will be on the video page. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Man, that was such a good interview.
Isn't
I
that-
love her. She's awesome.
Isn't she great?
She is great.
And very passionate.
So
Very
passionate and so informative. I mean, it was just super
Who
informative.
knew that that was such a big issue in Northwest Arkansas?
Absolutely.
I mean, let's get
Absolutely.
real. Let's get down to brass tacks here. So,
It is. So what do people need to do if they want more information?
yeah. So just click the link that Jenny will provide us. We'll put it in the video comments or somewhere on the video, where all you have to do is just click the links. You're welcome to donate. You're welcome to volunteer and participate. Or if you have any specific questions, you can reach out to Jenny directly, or you can reach out to us and we'll filter those questions through that way. So thank you for joining us. We hope that you've learned something and that your awareness
Absolutely.
has been raised even just a little, and that you'll lean in as you go through the month of December and looking at different people through the eyes of December.
Always. Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great
guys.
day. Bye.